And you're just so you know, like the way that you're talking, it
Mhm.
matches up perfect with your voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. We're live here on our YouTube site. And again, we're bringing in the real expert here. That's Nicholas Ludlow.
What's happening?
Let's see. We talked about tax deductions last week. 401k choices. Man, is that's something that people, they think I'm old at 60, and I'm about ready to retire. They think that's many years away from me. Why would I need to worry about 401k? Nick, why would I need to worry about 401ks?
The earlier you get started, the better off you're going to be when you get to my age, 48 years old.
That's right.
Nick's
a youngster.
Oh yeah, spring chicken, barely getting started, barely cut my teeth in. Uh, no, it's the most important thing, in my opinion, that you can have a knowledge of that, and the way that it works, and the way that you start to manage your overtime, the way that you start to uh, really start to understand where your money's going and where it could be more beneficial to you when you get to a retirement age. It's just super important.
Yep. And again, another thing that you're not taught in school is about compound interest. There are many factors into when you get to be my age, low 60s, and I'm thinking about retirement. I'm planning to retire next year. Do I have enough money in my account to last? Do I have enough money, wealth and health to last me, through my retirement? And I feel like our retirement accounts are pretty good at this point. The biggest factor, there's multiple factors that go into how much money you're going to have, is how much you put in, is what interest rate you get, like how well your accounts do in the market. If you select accounts that do great, obviously your money's going to do better, and vice versa. If you select conservative, like you can select low interest, 3 or 4% maybe, that you're going to gain, but they're very safe. They're like government bonds, things that are guaranteed. Then you can gain 8 to 9 or even 10% on some things, but they're a little bit more risky. So you're going to see some of it up and down. The biggest single factor, though, is how long your money is in the accounts, because it takes into account compounding interest.
Yep.
So if you gain, if you had $1,000 in your account and it gains $100 this month, it's building interest on $1,100 the next month. It's building interest on $1,200 the next month. Even if you didn't put any money in it, it's doing that. But plus the money that you're putting in it, plus the money that the employer's putting in it, that's compound interest. So the earlier you start, even if it's a small amount, start it early.
And I will say this, that if you feel like this is above your head, and this is something that's something that you don't want to really spend too much time on, you can always go with like Fidelity has one.
Jones.
Yeah, there's so many financial institutions out there that you could just literally say, I'm banking with you, my 401ks with you. I'd like to have somebody manage my retirement for me, and they will put somebody on your file, on your case, on your dollars, and you can make it so where someone can manage it for you for a very small fee, and then you can get a monthly report and see how your dollars are doing. So that's something that's hugely misunderstood, I think. And that's another thing that employers can't tell you. They can't advise you on which stocks to put money in, and they can't do all of that.
We're live, by the way. So I just pulled it up.
Aha.
There it is. Yeah, and a lot of people think, well, I'm going to be paying somebody else to do that for me, and that's true. And you think it's a waste of money. It's not. In my opinion, it's not. So we have some money with Fidelity. We have some money with Edward Jones. My employer puts our contributions into an account called by the financial company called Vanguard. So we're reducing risk by going across multiple companies. That's number one. If we have all of our eggs in one basket and something fails, we don't lose everything. And within each company, we have our investments in multiple stocks, multiple portfolios. So, but they manage that for us. I'm not financially sound in this area to do this day by day. I don't even want to spend the time on it. So I think, I'll give an example. I think Fidelity charges something like $40 a quarter for having what they call a managed account and then they take a percentage of the profit that you make, which I like that better. I would rather have them take a percentage of what we make than just taking a flat amount, because I don't want to pay somebody if I go down, up or down. I want them getting money if I make money. So I'm cool with that.
And I do know that there's financial institutions out there that will only pay their, let's just say, brokers if you are making profit. So it's in their interest to make profit for you every month, or at least make the move in the right direction so they can get paid off of what income or what dollars they're managing for you. So there's just so much more to it that needs to be understood, and it's a safe thing as well. Like it's safe for your dollars. It's safe for you to be able to invest into your future, because those future funds could be distributed amongst your family, amongst your children, and in all kinds of different ways that those funds could be distributed. So at a later time in your life. So just always remember that the earliest that you can get started with it. It kind of reminds me of the thing that when I was brought up, the piggy bank idea. Like whenever you get change, you come home and you put it in a piggy bank. Well, I mean, obviously we got rid of the penny now, so there's that. I mean, you literally are just putting the hours that you work, you're taking a cut off of that, and then trying to figure out what is the dollar amount, or what is the percentage off of that top part that you can live without, and then not be taxed on, and then moving on, making that piggy bank even larger and larger every month. So.
Yeah. The piggy bank's a good example. By the way, I just wrote a comment on my phone, like I'm a person watching, and it showed up over here, and then I commented back, thanks for the comment. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the comment?
I cannot.
You cannot. Okay. So yeah, the piggy bank idea is good. It just doesn't build any interest upon it. Whatever you put in the piggy bank is what you get. With compound interest, whatever you put in this case, you're getting your part, the employer is matching that part, and it's earning interest on top of that. So, it's amazing to see the money build. And I could go into so much detail about this, and like what it means, like when you get later in life and you hit certain thresholds. For example, I'm just going to use some crazy numbers, but let's say if you have $1 million in your retirement, if you never touch that, if you never put any more money into that, it's going to continue to build more money, because there's $1 million there gaining interest. So even if it's 1%, 1% of $1 million is $10,000. So $10,000 over and over being added to it and continuing to build. On the flip side of that, this is something that we learned. Mary's mom is living with us, and she had a good chunk of money in there, and for a while that money was not coming down. It was 10 years. We were taking money out of it, but we were taking less money out of it than it was building in compound interest. So it was staying pretty steady. But then once it got down to a certain point, then it started to shrink much, much faster, because it could not keep up with the amount that we needed to take out for her care. So, you got to watch it on both sides. You want to hit thresholds to say, okay, now that I hit my first 10,000, my first 100,000, my first million, it starts to add, money. And then of course, when you start spending it down, it'll look like, oh my gosh, I just took out $10,000 and it didn't move. It's still at, $1 million. Well, that's true at $1 million, but when you have $40,000 and you take out $10,000, it's gonna
big hit.
It'll come down real quick.
So the other thing is some people that I've mentored and I've been through my career with, they say, well, I'm just going to put it in a savings account at the bank. Well, the issue with that is that your savings account will not reap the same kind of back end that your 401k will, because your 401k is going with the market, which is going up and down constantly. And or if you like what Todd was saying, like choosing something that's more consistent and more steady.
It's safe.
Yeah, safer. And it's still going to reap more. You're still going to see a lot more benefit on the backside of doing those 401k hits than you would off of just putting your money into a savings account at a bank. And
yeah,
I mean, and then CDs are another thing that are available to all of us. And And the only thing about a CD is that your money is locked in, and unless you let the bank know that you are not wanting it to roll over again, it automatically will roll. So your money could be locked up in that bank for years and years and years, and then you're like, well, I'm just going to go take it out. Well, you'll pay a penalty on that, and that's another thing that, I mean, I don't know if there's a slide for this right now, but there's the employee match and or just you doing it on your own, like no matter what, putting it into your 401k is the best option that you have that's available to us as consumers and people that work hard for our money. So
Yeah. And I'm looking at the recording.
to us as consumers and people that work hard for our money. So
Yeah, the voice is lined up very well. The voice and the audio to the video is lined up well. I wonder if I'm getting some feedback here. Let me go back to. Can I rewind this? I think I can.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people think, well, I'm going to be paying somebody else to do that for me,
Let
and
me see when you're talking.
because those future funds could be distributed amongst your family, amongst your children.
So I'm going to end the live recording.
That those funds could be
See ya.
distributed. So at a later time in your life. So just always remember that.